members, welcome to my first exclusive content video. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for signing up to be a member. That's blowing my mind and greatly appreciated. And I've been wanting to do some exclusive content for you guys, and I couldn't really, figure out how I wanted to do it, what I wanted to do. So this popped up, and I was like, okay, this is perfect for giving to you guys and you guys alone. And that's I have some new functionality coming. It's going to be a while. I'm working on it. I should say new functionality I'm working on. So I wanted to give you guys like a early preview of what I'm working on, why I'm doing it, and then give you a chance to give me some feedback on it. Because that, usually I'm just in a corner all by myself and don't really get any feedback until after it's completely done and released to everybody. So this will give me some, the ability to bounce ideas off and get some feedback. So this is actually the second time I'm recording this video. I don't know, my computer updated or something, and the mic didn't turn on. So I recorded this for an hour or whatever it was, and came back to post it, and there was no audio. So here we go. So I'm doing this again. So in my brain, I'm going to feel like I've already said things to you that I haven't said. So I got to figure that out in my head. Did I say that in the first video, or have I already said it in the second video? Anyway, so it's going to be kind of a hot mess, but you're going to get an inside view on what I'm working on, how I'm working on it, what my thought process on it, and all that is. So here we go. Let's just jump into it. So the feature that I'm working on over here on the website is, so we've got the card comparison now, which is, you can do up to 3 cards, and it's just 1 card a piece. It gives you the ability to do line by line, little detail, card detail by card detail, application rules, sign up bonuses, and all that stuff. Annual fee, each category, and then each benefit, type against each other. But it's just 1 card, 1 card, 1 card. And then we have the wallet setups, which is similar, like very similar, except it can be with a multiple card wallet setup comparing. And the addition to that is that, you've got this net value and calculations. And, it used to be that it was the net value was at the bottom, and I bubbled that up to the top to make it easier to sort of get, instant feedback as you're adding other cards. It updates the net value, and you can see right away where you're headed. Oh, I shouldn't go that way. I should take that out and add a different card, and so on. So that was super valuable. Everybody seems to love the wallet setups, the favorite part of their website. And then obviously with my videos, I use that a ton for making arguments and just, conveying strengths and weaknesses of certain cards. But those 2 pages are super similar. You don't get the card details on this page, and you don't get the net value and calculations on the other page, or the ability to do multiple cards. But I have always felt like this should be combined somehow into 1 page, because it just makes sense, right? It's kind of silly to have it on 2 different sections. And then the other reason is that I started going down a path of coding in spending caps. Now, that's really the Achilles heel of the wallet setups, is it's not going to tell you when you hit your cap on your Freedom Flex. So you kind of have to manually factor that in, or just ignore it and say, this is close enough. Nothing else out there on the internet is giving me anything even this close. So this is close enough to make my decisions, and so on. And I think that's what probably most people do. But it is the Achilles heel that, you're not getting on the city, you're not getting over, what was it, 6,000 a year on the city custom cash, 500 a month. I should say that 500 a month times 12. What the frick is that? 10,000? Hang on. No, I can't pause. So anyway, you get what I'm saying. So if you have spending of whatever that category is over a certain amount, um, you're not going to be able to limit that. So I wanted to get the spending cap in there, and the way I was doing the calculations on the wallet setups page, it just made it impossible to do it because I was doing the way I did it was all the calculations for the calculation section is on the fly. And it was just doing all kinds of, okay, is this a quarterly category? And are we in that time limit for this particular category? Okay, include that. It earns 5x, but now I have I have transfer partners on, so I have to change that, modify the points, and then so it was just doing all this crazy calculations, and then you got to factor in the fact that you have combined. This is the biggest. I actually finished the spending cap, and I got it working, and I was all celebrating prematurely because the spending cap worked. But then I go, oh crap, some of those spending caps are combined. So if you have a combined spending cap of, I can't think of a card off the top of my head. Well, Freedom Flex, for example, combined spending cap of $1,500 a quarter, then it was giving me, groceries up to 15. I annualized it, so it'd be whatever the yearly cap was. I'm not going to do the math, and I'm not going to waste your time doing it on the side. So whatever the annual spending cap for Freedom Flex is, it would do that, but it would do it for each category. So it was not accurate in the sense of, when you run out of the spending cap in one category, you can't use it in another category from scratch again. So that was where it just got insane on the math in the code, and was hard to keep up with the way I was doing it because it was just overly complex. So I'm redoing all of that so that on a new page that combines card comparisons and wallet setups, so it's easy to do one card, and see all the details, and then also do multiple cards with multiple multiple wallets with multiple cards in the wallet. And then I'm going to make it so that when it's displaying the data, it's all clean and it isn't jumping through 1,000 hoops trying to figure out calculations. It's just a clean data set to work with. When it finally displays on the page, it's just clean. Here's the value, and not here's the value with a bunch of functions wrapped around that value to give you a different value for every single card on the page. So that was my motivation, and I'm in early stages of doing that. I'm basically just trying to get the UI figured out, like how to display all that, and then once I have that, then I'll swap out the dummy data for real data. All right. So hopefully that wasn't too boring and too inside baseball, but so that's what the motivation was. And then so here's the version 2 of the wallet card comparison page. I wanted to simplify this and make it sort of wizardy when you start out. So it's just like, how do you want to add, your stuff? So if you want to do the popular setups, and I liked the way that, so if I just clear this out, so I liked this display, but I liked it less and less as you added more wallets. It just got really confusing because now I'm going, you're used to seeing it on the one wallet where it's, do you pick any card on the page and it adds it to that one wallet, but then you have multiples and I got to split it into columns, and it just got cluttery, and I just thought it was just too confusing. For power users, not a problem. New users, I think, is where people go, what is all this crap on the screen? What am I doing? This part's super easy. I mean, I think they get that, but it did get confusing when you only have one over here at all times. So there's only one here, even though there's 2 columns, but over here there's 3, there's 1 per column. So consolidating will fix that too. But anyway, so I just have it. So, you want to add a credit card, you just click here, click over here, and add a credit card. Now you see behind that it added a credit card. I'm going to not do that instantly. I'm going to have like an apply button or whatever, and then they'll show up here. I just don't have all that wired up together. And then when they show up here, you can do other stuff, resort, sort them in different orders and stuff. And probably even more stuff too, but it's early days and I'll work all that out later. But again, you can just keep adding cards here. Again, they'll show up in the list here at some point, but then you'll hit apply and then they'll show here. Now you'll see that there's a different UI on multiple cards. Let me add a new wallet. I don't like this, but I want it as simple as this, but I want it to look better. So I'm going to work on the look and feel, but I want it as simple as this. I don't want it to be this giant thing where, you have to scroll down or whatever to get to it just, and then you got my wallets, you got a ton of my wallets to get to the popular, you got to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. So I just think that's a bad UI. It was fine for what it was before, but now I think it's better to do this. So now if you want to add a popular setup, it just slides out and then you've got the whole page to deal with and you've got all the stuff and it's just super easy. If you want to do my wallets, I don't have this wired up yet for displaying the cards and everything, but all your my wallets will show here just like on the popular one with the cards displaying. I don't have this wired up to add them to it yet either. And then add single credit cards just like before. You just go and do the single credit cards and then hit apply and then they'll show up there. And then if you want to add your my cards, so this is the cards in that you have set up in the my cards section. You just click that and it automatically just adds those, right? So the new UI, so instead of having it to where they're down like this that can scroll forever depending on how many cards you have, which I love the UI. Oh my God, are you fucking serious? God damn it. The world is against me. All right, so much for doing this in one take. Power just went out. We had a bad storm last night. I guess a branch hit something or something. Anyway, where was I? So I think I was talking about them being displayed like this, which I really like. It looks good. It's slick, like when it moves and stuff. And, it was easy to just click to get rid of them and everything, which is great. It just, UI wise, it's scrolling way down. And when they don't have equal amount of cards on both sides, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a bad UI, well, not bad UI, but just not ideal, put it that way. And then when you want to scroll to get to other data, you have to like scroll past all this and if I wanted to put the cards at the top where I think they belong, then depending on how many cards there were, you don't see the net value very easily. You have to scroll down. It would be here if you wanted it next, the next thing. So I made the tough decision to switch it to this UI. So, which I think is still kind of slick. You're scrolling over each of the slivers of the sides of the cards, and it shows you the full card. So if you don't immediately know, okay, what's the one with the airplane on it? I don't really recognize it off the top of my head. You just hover over it and it shows you that card. Same with like the Visa. Oh, okay, that's the AA card. So I think it's slick enough to where it works. And then I get the added benefit of it being compact. Whereas the other one, definitely not compact, right? Way, way down for, if you have a ton of cards like on this one right here, ton of cards. But I can just quickly just hover over and see which card is which. And I may do, if I'm hovering over a certain card, I could right click and do some special thing. But for now, I'm going to, when you click on it, it opens up and then you can resort. I think I'm going to add other stuff. This isn't the UI I'm going to end up with, but it'll be something. I'm hoping to like make it a little more compact, and then you can expand out to see more about the card. So if you wanted to deal with that particular card in the wallet, You could do that here. It gives me more room to work with, whereas over here, I always felt very claustrophobic, and I have to right click, and people got to know to right click and stuff like that. Um, anyway, so I feel like having these side panels slide out gives me more breathing room to add more functionality that I don't feel like I'm cramming in to the UI, trying to fit it all into here. Okay. So the next thing is this new filter bar. So it's very similar to I'm keeping the same sort of UI design style that is on the best card. So, we've got this advanced filters. I'm going to probably keep utilizing this same look and feel for the filters and stuff on the new wallet page. But I like the fact that I have more breathing room. I can explain things. I have more room to explain things over here. Have just a better UI, UX experience, user experience over here. And then whatever's selected in the filters shows up here, and you can immediately see why this stuff is being filtered. I didn't know I had airlines. You can click to remove the airline filter, no airline filter, and stuff like that, and then toggle on and off filters here, and those will always be here. The quarterly bonuses, the hotel status, if it's a hotel related stuff, point equalizer, and so on. So it's going to be similar to that on the new wallet page. And the other added benefit is if you scroll, this will stick at the top and stay there. I've got instead of like this one, which I love the fact that these kind of poke down from the bottom, so you can instantly visualize, okay, that's the Chase Sapphire Reserve. You can read it, and then you also get visual confirmation. So platinum, as to what it is visually. I don't think I can make that work here because of the fact that it's, like this. If you're just seeing a sliver of this, it's not going to help. Let me add some more content. So if you're just seeing a sliver of that, I don't know how beneficial that is to you. So I opted to not keep the visualization of this here because I just don't think it helps much in this paradigm of the sideways stacked cards. So I opted to just have a name always visible. So you'll always have the filters across the top. You can click the advanced filters. That'll slide out. It'll be similar to the best card. It won't be this UI looking thing. It's just temporary. And then you can update whatever's here with more breathing room here. But for the quick stuff, you have it here, and it'll show you what's being filtered, what's not being filtered, and so on. So things may change, but that's how I have it in my head right now. Then, so for this, you've got the wallet showing the name of the wallet. Right now it's just wallet 123. At some point, I'm gonna do some sort of auto naming. So if you just add one card, I'll just auto name it the card here. So when you scroll down and you only have one card in there, that name will be here for that card. So that'll be easy. Then if you click on my cards, so if you're adding I don't have a way of deleting all the cards right now, or the whole wallet set of cards at the moment. But if you delete all there, and then you add my cards, maybe it just has my cards there. And then whatever it auto names it to, I'll let you name it. So there'll be another field up here just called wallet label or wallet name or whatever. And you can name it and then save it there as well. So it'll save to the My Wallets if you want to do it like that. Sorry, itch. And then, but anyway, so there'll be more ways to sort of manage and deal with the cards on this side panel. So you don't have to try to do that all in the column for the wallet. So it just opens up, gives me more breathing room. And then I think I like this to keep it like this for the compact nature, but still gives you a good view of all the cards that are in there. And then when you're scrolling, will have the names there, so you don't lose track of which column is what. So you can name it whatever you want. And then when you're scrolling, you can always glance up to say, okay, what am I looking at? Oh yeah, it's this one. Okay. It's just all the Amex stuff. Okay. That type of thing. Because in the current wallet one, you lose all that entirely. And the only way to sort of remember what is in what column is just by gleaning from, okay, this is the one with the connect and the flex. Okay. It may be the same cards over here, but just with a couple of differences, and you forget which is which. So if you have the ability to have some sort of name label that follows you along your scroll, then I'm thinking that will be a lot better than the current wallet setups that, either force you to scroll back up and go, oh yeah, that's really that's it, that type of thing. All right, I won't beat that dead horse anymore. But anyway, again, anything I'm saying, please give me feedback. This is what I'm doing this for, so I can get feedback from you guys. Positive or negative. So if you really like something, definitely give me positive feedback, because I know I'm on the right track. And if you're like, dude, that's terrible, don't do that, let me know that too. Doesn't mean, God, I have an itch. Doesn't mean that I'll change it, but I will absolutely take it into consideration. Something may stay that you don't think is great because I have 40 other reasons that force me to do it that way, but I still want the feedback, negative or positive. And I won't take it personal. Trust me. Just anything that comes to your mind, I'm totally fine with hearing. Just be assured, be okay with the fact that it may not sway me, but I will absolutely consider it. Okay, so next is I already covered the advanced filter, so that'll pop out. Adding a wallet. Let's see. Oops. So let me delete this. I can't remember if I did this in the other video, or if it was this video, but I'm going to clean this up, make this prettier. Oh yeah. So I have it to where you can do unlimited wallets. And I was working with like 5 wallets at a time on the screen, which looks great on a PC with, a 1080p monitor. It looks great with 5. Like you can get 5 in there and do. The problem is, you get it in a mobile, and you can't do 5. You can barely do 3. It barely looks good with 3. I mean, we're really, especially like benefits on the wallet setup screens, 3 cards. You're getting 2 letters on each line as it's this skinny little thing. So I hate that. I'm probably going to do something with that, but I definitely can't get 5 in there. There's no way I'm getting 5. So my first thought was, okay, well, I'll let 5 on the PC, and if I detect it's on a mobile device on a smaller screen, I'll only let you do 3. But there's so many things that can trip me up there. So I've opted to stick with 3. As you can tell, it won't let you add any more right now. But I'm gonna leave the option open to do more on the PC side if I can figure out a way. I just don't want to get bogged down on that right now. So I'm gonna stick with just 3. And also on the old wallet, on this old wallet setups page, I have code in there that assumes it cannot be more than 3. And so there was no way, without just ripping out code and rewriting a bunch of stuff, to get more than 3 on this page anyway. So I'm starting from scratch, writing this so that it's unlimited. It's going to calculate it no matter what, and just assume that it could be an infinite amount of columns. And then I will arbitrarily cap it to 3 to start out with. And then if I feel like UI wise I can make it work to be 4 or 5, then I will do that in the future. But for now, I'm just going to cap it as 3, but it's arbitrarily capped. Okay. So, what was next? In my head, I'm going, did I already tell them this? But I can't remember if it was the other video or not. So let me just add some of my cards in here just to give me some data to look at. And then, okay. So the other thing was this bar across the top, which I already kind of touched on where you can toggle off all those things. Again, nothing's wired up. This is all dummy data. For some reason, this is calculating. I don't even know how that got in there, but it's not real numbers. So ignore all these gigantic numbers. I think it's just adding up something. I don't remember. Anyway, it's just dummy data and all this, like the benefits. There will be a ton more benefits for multiple cards. But okay, so the reason I have it like this: card on top, net value, and then you can toggle off sections. And I got some of this is from a comment that I got from somebody that said, hey, I want to be able to turn off categories, because categories I don't give a crap about, because you're calculating it. It doesn't matter what they're earning. I just want to see the calculations, and I don't want to have to scroll by the categories every single time, because there was a lot of scrolling to go see something. And back before I had the net value on top, you had to scroll all the way to the bottom and get to net value, which was great for my videos, because I could leave the climactic ending until I go down to the bottom. So I could be talking to you on the video and adding cards and discussing benefits and, hitting the benefits, turning off stuff and everything, and then scrolling down the calculations, and then, going through all the calculations, and then I'd go, and then that gives us, and then boom, I get this big climactic ending. And when I put the net value on the top, it completely robbed me of that. So I'd come to the wallet setup screens in the more recent videos, and it would just, the ending would be right there. And it was like, okay, this is best. What do I need to keep talking for? And so I found myself not really spending a lot of time on the calculations, because I'd be like, oh, there it is. You already know. So why would I spend a bunch of time building up to the climactic ending of the calculations that I used to do at the bottom? So, one of the reasons that I did this, that gave me the ability to turn off the net values, so that in my video I don't spoil the ending. So that's the only reason really that net value is toggleable, is for me and my videos. But it also kind of makes sense that you can just toggle all of them off and put what you want to see. So it makes less sense for net value, because I think everyone would just want to see the net value right up front, and then they can go dig into why it is. But one of the biggest benefits to this is, no pun intended, is for the benefits, is it's so easy now to before. So before, you had to go to the benefits, make sure you didn't have all these duplicated credits, just checking to make sure, do I use these credits? I use this other credit here that wasn't on, I can turn that on. And then once you did that, you got to scroll all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom to see the effect of you turning those off. Whereas now, if you had those benefits, it's just right here. So you could toggle a couple benefits, and it's just right there. You don't have to scroll past all the spending categories now. And then details weren't there before, but all that stuff you don't have to scroll by. So you can just pop up, see the benefits, pop up, see the benefits. So it's a lot easier, I think, when you're tweaking your benefits on your credit card. So that's a plus to this. And some people, like I said, just mentioned they don't need the category, so I want to toggle that off. So that's why that's there. It just occurred to me that maybe we can make these resortable too. I don't know if I'll do that, at least not right away, but if you want benefits at the top and then categories at the bottom or something, I could make that to where you could slide these back and forth and it would put it in that order. But anyway, I'm just thinking out loud now. So I feel like I covered a lot more in the other video that didn't have audio, but I think, oh no. All right, so details. So on the card comparison, it gives you that ability to do line by line. This is the point systems, this is the value, which was really good for my videos, and I think it helps with especially new to the credit card community people, because they don't have all that in their mind automatically, and they can really go line by line and see, okay, do I get a better sign up bonus, and these are the bonus details, here are the rules, and they can really do that. And so with the wallet setups, there was no way to do that. So here, if you have, let me refresh this and just do one card each. So credit card, and we'll do that one, and then add more wallets, credit card. This will be a lot easier when I'm done. It won't be these many hoops to jump through. And then just do another one. Let's do Fairwinds. So when you have the details turned on, then you'll get a similar experience where you can do line by line. What's the point system? Is it cashback? That kind of thing. By the way, these are all wrong. This isn't real data. This is dummy data that's in here. So, what's the sign up bonus? What's the bonus details? So all that you can do like you can on the card comparison, but you could not do on the wallet setups. And if you have multiple cards, so let's just put a couple extra cards in here for each of these. And they will be displayed when you click on here. They'll all be, whatever card you have in here, it'll be displayed here. It's not wired up and working just yet. So let me just put a couple more. All right. So now with the card details on, and there's multiple cards, my initial idea is just to have them all listed so you can see which each one. So if there was only one card, I probably wouldn't need the image of the card there, and I could just display it because you'll have the name of the card up here, and then it'll just have each little thing. Again, this is all dummy data; it's not real. So but at least you can go, okay, each card has this type of point system and so on, and you can kind of get a visual back and forth. Okay, these are the estimated points for all these cards. These are the sign up bonuses. These are the bonus details for each card. These are the rules and so on. So you get the idea. And then the separated annual fees for each card. And then I think I have, so I have the combined annual fee just kind of listed under here under the net value, so you can get a sense of what the annual fees are costing you to get that, getting that net value. And then the individual ones would be down here. And again, I'm tweaking this as I go, so all this may change. But that's my idea on the card details. And then categories will just be similar to the current wallet setups, but what I think I'd like to do is make these clickable and then have them slide out a panel and show you my math, show you my work. So over here, you've got all these cards, and the system picked the Blue Business Plus because it got 4x and the other ones got less than 4x for the all other category. But I'd like for it to be, so for all other, be able to click on this and then show you why I picked, in this scenario, the Amex Gold. It's not really, it's just the first card in the list, but have it slide out and give you all the cards with their earnings and why it was picked, you know what I mean? So that you can see, and possibly even be able to choose a different all other card, like force choose it. You go, I don't want to use that one. I want to use this one. Because you may end up finding that you can eliminate a card because it's never being used. So if there's a category where it's like, I'm using this card because of these other two categories, and the only reason I'm using this card is because it's the all other category, but I have another one that's already being used. It is also good for the all other category, like the Venture X, for example, in this scenario. It's being used for hotels on the portal and all that kind of stuff. But then also it's used, some other cards being used for all other, and you want to use the Venture X for all other, then you see that. And that's another thing I want to do. Jeez. You see that, that other card that was being used for other is now no longer being used in any category. That'll give me the ability to, and this is what I was about to say was it'll give me the ability to highlight to you cards that aren't being used, so you can ditch them if you need to. So especially if it's a high annual fee card and it's not being used, I can give you a way of either pressing a button or just highlighting the fact that this card's costing you money and you're not using it based on your annual spending. So I can recommend, hey, maybe you should ditch this card and you'll get a better net value or something like that. So there's that. Again, this is like a lot of stuff. I have a big, huge plans for all of this stuff. So, so there's that. And then benefits, of course, will probably be very similar to what it is now in the wallet setups, where you can turn on and off credits to be used in the thing. Should be fairly similar to what you're seeing now for that part of it. And then calculations. The only thing different I'm going to do with calculations is it's still going to be similar, but I want it to be more breathing room. Right now, I really have to. It's hard to explain, but basically, how I get all this to line up properly is I have to ensure that everything is one line and never wraps into another line. So like that's why these have this little dot dot dot, because if I wrap this, it'll make it one line longer, and then this whole grid will be a little longer, and then now my net values don't line up. So I had to make sure that each benefit was one line in the tally, and then over here I'm putting blank lines to match these blank, because I count the highest number of benefits and then I make sure they all have blank lines. It's a nightmare. So I'm sort of doing it differently now, that anything I stick in a section will automatically be the way it is, and I don't have to worry about the lines not lining up and all that kind of stuff. So but otherwise it'll be the same. I'm just going to have a little more breathing room in the display of the data, and I may even do it to where I don't show so much math, and then you can click on it and then it slides open the math over here. So if you really want to dig into how I calculated everything, it's all showing the math over here in a side panel, so that it's not so cluttery in this. I know this makes no sense for calculations. It's just a dummy. It's just a template for now, a placeholder for now. But anyway, so when you click on the calculator, it'll slide open into a panel, and it'll show it in the panel, so I don't have so much clutter on the screen. Anyway, to be determined still, but those are my ideas on that. And then the other thing is snapping to sections. So when you enable the section, it snaps to it, so it's easy to get to. And if it's already on, you can double click it and it'll go there. I think that's probably fine for now. It's kind of a little power user hack to get there, instead, because I don't want to float anything over here anymore. So I just want it across there. So that was the best I could come up with for snapping to sections, is just double click it and it'll go there. If it's already on, if it's off, you click it, it'll automatically go to that section. So there's that. I think I've covered everything. Yeah. So love your feedback. And I appreciate you for being members. And I want to do this continually as I do more and more improvements and get stuff done. I'll demo the features for you. Also, I have other stuff besides this on my queue, and I'm planning on doing the same type of thing. Hopefully not this long, because this is just a huge feature that I'm demoing for you. So other stuff will be a lot shorter. But anyway, so appreciate it, and you guys have a good one. I am doing. I'll just give you insight on that. So I'm doing I got a comment about the gold on the Amex. The groceries. I was done with this, and this just inspired me to keep going on this grocery category, because I honestly think it's really important. And so I was kind of on the fence on a couple other news subjects I was going to do, and then this guy made this passionate argument against the Amex Gold, which definitely has merit. So I started digging into it more, and he was saying that the Blue Cash Preferred was the way to go. So I started digging into it, and he has an argument. So it's not, absolute like anything in the credit card sector, but it's not absolute, but he has merit. So I'm going to steel man his argument and then try to get both sides to it as best I can. It won't be a really long video. It might be, who knows. But I'm also going to pull in some other, as people pointed out, I didn't do every little credit card comparison stuff, so which is valid. I'm not going to get too crazy with it, but I am going to make a comparison with the Blue Cash Preferred and the Amex Gold, and then probably slide in some other stuff. But so that's what I'll be working on. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to start working on that, and that'll be for Monday. I'm super late. Usually I do this on the weekend before the Monday, so I do it a week in advance for that Monday, that next Monday coming. But my family and I have been busy looking at houses. Not to get too personal, but my parents live literally 2 doors down that way, and we're looking to consolidate into one bigger house so that we can take care of them when they're older. Well, they are older, but they don't need taken care of at the moment, but they will here in the next probably 5-10 years. And we wanted to kind of get set up. So we've been dealing with the house stuff. So it's just been stressing me out. So I haven't been able to record. So, anyway, that'll be out Monday for sure, though. I'll make sure I get a video out Monday, and then this is for you, and I'll get the next video out as soon as possible, so you guys get first dibs at it before anybody else. So anyway, thank you. Bye.